Good morning, yogis. Let's start standing. So we'll come to the center of our mat, have 2 blocks handy. So have a couple of blocks handy, maybe to the outside of your right foot. And find your Tadasana. Connect your feet to the earth. Engage the leg muscles. Lift the pelvic floor. Maybe find a neutral pelvis so you're not, exaggerating that curve in the back. Neutral pelvis, toned belly, shoulders up, back, and down. Chin parallel to the earth. Maybe even spinning your palms forward so that you're open across your chest. All right. So we'll have a sequence today that will focus on twisting and even getting into our hips a little bit. So we'll start with a standing warm-up sequence. So from here, take your arms out to the sides, up to the sky, elongate. You can keep your arms wide or closer together, it doesn't matter, just pause here. And then lower your right arm down and look down towards your right foot. Draw that left arm in line with your ear. Fold a little farther to the right. Inhale here, exhale, sink. Inhale, and the next exhale, bend your knees and sweep your left hand around and take hold of the right calf. Bring that right leg towards straighter, you go sideways. And then let your right hand climb up onto your hip as you lift your torso, lengthen. Start to rotate to the right. You can use the leverage of the left hand and right calf. Staying here in the twist, or extend your right arm if that feels okay in your shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little more. One more breath. Inhale, exhale, then inhale and exhale and hinge forward again, bending your both legs, and have the right hand clasp the left calf, chin to chest, round your spine, like a standing child's pose. And then start to rise up by bringing your legs towards straighter, extending your arms but leaving them crossed, bringing your arms forward until they're in line with shoulders. Then bend your elbows like you're going to go into your eagle arms. Staying here with wrists crossed if that's enough. You can even have hands on shoulders, but maybe you can bring your right elbow inside the left. Wrap forearms around. Tone the belly. Press your hips forward. Lift your sternum. Lift your elbows. Lift your gaze. Take a little back bend here. And then exhale, release your arms by your sides. All right. Okay, other side. Let's let one other person in, let's see. Okay. All right, so from your Tadasana, big inhale, get long. Exhale, fold to the left as you lower your left hand down and look at the left foot. Draw that right arm back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and sink. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and sink as you bend your knees. Right hand on left calf. The left leg straightens. Left hand on hip. Spine long. Rotate left. Maybe send left arm to sky. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Or sink into the twist, that is. Exhale, release. Bend both knees. Left hand clasp your right calf. Round the spine. Chin to chest, standing child's. Rise up with your strong legs as you extend your arms. Left arm still on top. Eagle arm variation, whatever that is for you. Take your extension, hips, elbows, chin, rise up. Exhale and release. Let's do that one more time, each side. So here we go. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold to the right. 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale, fold. Looking down at your foot. Inhale again, exhale, sink. Inhale, exhale, bend your knees, left hand on the right calf. Keep left leg bent, but bring right leg towards straighter. Hand on hip or up to the sky. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. De-rotate. Right hand on left calf. Round the spine, chin to chest. Strong legs. Rise you up. Lift your chest. Extend your arms. Tadasana arms. Or some variation thereof. Take your standing extension. Exhale, release the arms. One more time, other side. Inhale. Exhale, fold left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, and sink a little deeper. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees. Right hand on the left calf. Right leg stays bent. Left leg straightens. Lift your torso, lengthen. Twist left. Left arm on hip or up to sky, up to you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, ring it out. Inhale, then exhale, de-rotate. Left hand on right calf, round spine. Rise up, extend your arms. Tadasana arms, last time. Lift, take your long extension. Exhale and release. Good job. And notice how that felt. All right. So second wave, we'll add in some lunges and a down dog, even some tabletop posture. And let's see, I think I will face this way so you can see me. Have your blocks handy at the top of your mat. So come to the top of your mat. Okay. Let's take a few half sun salutations before we step back into our lunge. So from your Tadasana, tone the belly, inhale, sun breath, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold. Hands on the legs, blocks, or earth. Rise up halfway. Get long. Exhale, go back into your fold. Bend your knees, belly on thighs, arms out like a T. Rise all the way up. Hands to prayer. And again, release your arms by your sides. Sun breath. Maybe add an extension now. Exhale, hinge from your heart, swan dive, or hands through prayer. Rise up halfway. Get long. Exhale back into your fold. Bend your knees, belly on thighs. Lift your chest, lift your arms, rise all the way up to standing. Hands to prayer, prayer to your heart. This next time we'll step our left foot back. Inhale, get long, maybe extend. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward bend. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Soften your knees so your hands are on the blocks or the earth, and then send your left leg back. We're going to keep the leg lifted if we can, but if you need to bring your knee down, that's okay. A little bit of a lunge sequence. So inhale, come forward. Exhale, sink here. And then inhale, straighten, like the back heel lower. Exhale, pause and sink into this pyramid stretch. Inhale, come forward. Hold with your exhale. Inhale, straighten. Exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, sink. Inhale, go back into your pyramid. Exhale and fold or sink. Now come back into the lunge. Ground your left hand onto the earth or your block. Use your right hand on your thigh to rotate to the right. Your spine is long. You can keep your hand here, on your hip, or up to sky. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and twist. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and twist. Now lift that back leg so it's active. Send your right arm back, like towards your back foot. Your thumb up to the sky, and look towards your thumb to deepen this twist. Good job. And then lower your hand back down to frame your foot. Now we're going to go into a down dog, so you can get it there any way that feels comfortable for you. If that means sending your leg up to a three-legged dog, that's fine. If it means lowering the left knee down, lowering the right knee down, and then rising up to down dog, do it that way. Then once you find your dog pose, pedal your feet. Warm up the legs a little bit more. Maybe sway your hips side to side. Ground your hands into the earth. Tone your belly and send your hips to the sky. Take another breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and sink. Now let's come forward into a plank pose. You can take modified plank if you need to, but just try to do plank. We're going to go right onto our knees in a moment. This is a good core and all over body exercise. So your legs are active, you're extending through your heels, your belly's toned, your head's in line with your spine. Take a couple more breath cycles here. And then everybody lower your knees down. Tabletop. Inhale, send your tailbone to the sky, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale and round. Tuck the tail, round the spine, drop the head. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale, pause in your cat back. Hold it there, press the earth away with hands and knees, draw navel to spine, and then come back to neutral. Now we're going to go into our Ashtanga Namaskar. So our knees, chest, chin. So I'm going to bring my knees a little back, or you can bring your hands a little forward. Kind of come forward like you're almost like in a plank, but keep your hips lifted. And then bend the elbows back. So maybe watch what I'm doing here for a second. My elbows are bending back toward my rib cage. I'm keeping my hips lifted and I'm just bowing my chest and chin to the earth. So I'm in this little funny like inchworm position. And then I'm going to lower my hips and bring my chest through my arms into a cobra. The tops of the feet are grounded, looping the shoulders down the back. Take this cobra posture. Whatever height feels comfortable for you, and then lower down, press up through hands and knees, send your hips back towards your heels, curl your toes under, and then rise up into your dog pose. Good job, we made it. And find your dog pose again. You can add a little movement if you want. Just a couple of breaths. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and sink. Inhale, exhale and sink. One more. Inhale, exhale, sink. Now bring your right foot halfway between your feet, your foot, left foot and your hands. So just right in between, right? Get high on tented fingers. Draw your hands in so that you're in a short pyramid pose now. My back leg is straight, my front knee is soft. And then roll up. Really press the weight into the left leg. Let the arms just dangle, roll up, rounding the spine, rolling up, rolling up, rolling up. And then when you get to the top, send your arms up to the sky, circle them back, bring your hands by your hips, take an extension, draw elbows and triceps together, kind of like a camel posture. And then exhale, come back to neutral. Put the weight into your right foot, step your left foot forward, and then put the weight into the left foot, pick up the right leg, interlace your hands around your right knee. Oops. Give it a lift, give it a squeeze, like a crane posture. Lower the foot down, 2 more times. Pick that leg back up, lift that leg a little higher, squeeze it in, strong standing leg, lower it down. 1 more time, this time we're gonna keep it lifted. Bring that leg up, give it a squeeze. You can let go of the leg, keep it high, send your arms out to the side, crane pose, Balakikasana. 3 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Find your drishti. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale and lower the leg down. All right. Nice work. Other side. And I'm going to turn this way so you can see me. So having your blocks available if you use them, short side of your mat, the top short side of your mat. Big inhale, arms out to the sides, take your extension if you like. Exhale, swan dive, forward bend. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold, send your right leg back. Okay. Left knee comes over the ankle, back leg is strong. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, sink into this low lunge. Inhale, straighten the leg, let the right heel lower, pyramid pose. Exhale, sink into it. 2 more times. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, sink. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bow. Inhale, bend, lift your heart, loop your shoulders down your back. Exhale, engage the back leg, maybe drop your hips. Inhale, extend the leg, maybe even dig the heel in and lift the front toes. Exhale, bow. And then come back into your low lunge, bend the knee. Preparing for a twist. Ground your right hand into the earth, we're on a block. Left hand climbs up onto the left leg, maybe goes up to the sky. And then breathe here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, and twist. Maybe even draw that front hip back. It might want to track forward, so keep drawing it back. Breathe across the upper lungs. 1 more breath. And then lower your left hand back towards that right foot and look at your thumb. Draw the left hip back a little bit more. Lift that right leg a little bit more. 1 more breath. And lower that hand to frame the left foot. Go back to your downward dog any way that feels comfortable for you. All right. 3 breaths or so in our dog pose. Inhale, exhale, and sink. Now, if dog pose doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can always take a modification, whether that's sort of a standing dog, whether it's against the wall dog, or on a chair, or you can come down to puppy. Take 1 more breath, and then come forward to your plank pose, full or modified. Lengthen from crown of head to heel. Engage your belly, engage your arm muscles. Feel your quads engage. Breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale, and lower your knees. Inhale, send your tailbone to the sky as you drop your belly and lift your heart and gaze into a sway back. Exhale, round into your cat back. Exhale into your cow or your dog tilt. And continue like that a few times. Taking it at your own pace. So in this way, this is a vinyasa right here. We're moving with our breath. We're linking the postures with breath. Okay, 1 more time. And the next time you are in your cat back, pause and hold it there. Good. And then come back to neutral. We're getting ready for our knees, chest, chin. Okay, so the hips stay lifted. The elbows bend back towards the rib cage. You come forward with your chest. You'll see I'm actually doing a little slight shifting forward so that my chest lowers down right between my hands. My chin lifts so that my chin and chest are on the earth. Knees, chest, chin, or 8-limb staff pose. Good. Take 1 more breath and then lower your hips. Bring your chest through your arms into your cobra. Maybe you can develop the cobra into sort of an upward facing dog if you like. And then you can roll over your toes or just press back into your downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Okay, yogis, and then when you're ready, step your left foot halfway between your right foot and your hands. Get on tented fingers, ground that right heel, rising up into a pyramid pose, but then you're gonna roll up, roll up, roll up. When you get to the top, send your arms forward, up and back, big shoulder rotations, and then bring your hands onto your hips, elbows and triceps toward each other. Take a little back bend, like a camel. Lifting your heart, drawing elbows and triceps together. And then come back to neutral. Put the weight into the left foot to step forward. Then walk 1 step forward with your right foot. Pick up that left leg, interlace your hands around that left knee. Ground to the right leg and lift through the left. Good. And then lower it down. Once again, feel that grounding of the right leg, that force of apana. And then that lifting of the left leg, that force of prana. Good. And then last time, let's lift that leg up, keep it high, release your arms out to the sides, bent elbows and wrists, like the wings of a crane. Here we go, I'm facing you now. Yeah. And breathe. Grounding and lifting. Feel the balance, the unity between those opposing elements, the winds, the vayus, the grounding of apana and the lifting of prana. And then lower the leg, lower the arms, and notice how you're feeling now. All right. So let's do that again, but we'll add some standing poses in. Okay, so we'll come back to the top of our mat. Again, having blocks, and use the blocks if you like. Find your Tadasana. Big inhale, arms out to the sides, up to the sky. Get long, add an extension if it feels comfortable for you. Exhale, hinge from your hips, swan dive, forward bend. Inhale, rising up halfway. Exhale and folding, and then send your left leg back. Okay, finding your low lunge here. Good. Get stable, maybe widen the foot if you need to, and then send your arms to the sky for warrior one pose. Good. Nice. Bend your elbows into your Navasana arms, little cactus arms, and then bring them forward and nestle the right elbow inside the left. Good. Hands maybe rest on shoulders or they wrap fully around. Now, stay in your lunge here. Keep that right knee over the ankle. Maybe lift the elbows. You can take an extension if you like. Go slow. Strong, stable legs. And then exhale, we're going to hinge forward and go right into our humble warrior with the eagle arms. So bring your torso to the inside of that leg. Draw that right hip back. You can stay here at your torso, like sort of parallel with your thigh, or you can bring your head and your arms below the leg. Up to you, and breathe. Take one more breath. And then let's rise up. Straighten your front leg, release your arms, and open up into warrior two pose. I'm gonna move this way. By bending that right knee, lowering arms to shoulder height. Make sure that knee doesn't drop in. And then hold this for 3 breaths. So inhale here, get active. Exhale and sink a little deeper. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. And now straighten your right leg. Get ready for triangle pose. Tuck the right hip under. Reach forward with your right arm in rib cage. When you can't go anymore, stay there with your torso. Just lower the right arm down. Left arm to sky. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, and twist. Inhale, reach down with your right arm and up with your left. Exhale, lengthen a little more. One more breath. Inhale, exhale, and then bend your right knee. Lower your left arm down to frame the foot as you pivot onto the ball of the left foot, and we're going to take a twist again. So ground your left hand up to the sky. The left hand down to the earth, right arm up to the sky. Switching once again. Good, and breathe here. Strong back leg, draw your right hip back, broad across your collarbones, active arms. And then lower that right hand down. Lower that right hand down. We're gonna go back into a downward facing dog. So however you wanna get there. If you'd like to go by way of 3-legged dog, that's fine. And then lower the foot down. Actually, take a dog pose. We're gonna go into a hip opener. So there'll be an invitation to do it from tabletop right here and lift your leg and just do some nice hip circles. Or you can stay in your dog pose, lift that right leg again, bend the knee, open up the hip to the side, and then do some nice hip circles that way. So whichever way feels comfortable for you, find the fullest rotation of the hip. So take care, because a lot of times I just see people making these little circles. And I just wonder if that's your fullest range of motion. So really go to the fullest range that you can. You know, just challenge yourself a little bit, and then maybe even hold that leg open, that hip open, maybe peek under your right arm, no matter where you are, even if you're here. Well, actually, if I wouldn't be peeking if I was in tabletop, just gonna open that leg to the side. And then, yogis, extend your leg, lower that foot back down or the knee back down. You're in your dog pose. You're coming forward to your plank. Maybe if your knees are down, I might just take a modified plank here. Hold it for a few breaths. Now you can go knees, chest, chin again, or you can go chaturanga, where that is keeping the legs lifted, coming forward with your chest, just bending the elbows back, hovering. And then go to your upward facing dog or your cobra, back down to your downward facing dog. And then let's step halfway between our hands with that right foot. Okay, back into that short pyramid. Come on to tented fingers, lift your arms, drag your hands back to frame the foot. Ground your left heel. Soften the right knee, because we're going to turn this into a revolved triangle. Even use a block if you want, underneath your left hand. Lift your torso so that it's in line with your hips. Then start to rotate to your right, keeping your hand on your hip or maybe sending it up to the sky. Take one more breath. Lower that hand down. Now, get light on your hands, ground into your back leg, roll up like we did before. Just a nice roll up, rounding the spine. When you get to the top, send your arms up, back, and down onto your low back for a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, come on forward, putting the weight into the right leg. Step forward with the left foot, pick up the right leg. Interlace your hands around that knee again, grounding and lifting. Good. And then lower the foot down. We're going to do that 2 more times. This time we're going to add a twist. So lift the leg. You can interlace, the hand around the knee. You can stay here if you want, but maybe you're going to bring that right leg out to the right with your right hand. Your left hand will stay on the hip, go near a wall, or go out to the side. And if you can, challenge yourself by looking to the left. And then bring the leg back to center, give it a squeeze. Lower it down. Pick it back up. Give it a squeeze. This time we're going to bring the knee to the left as our right arm and gaze go to the right. Feel this, wringing out of the belly. Come back to center, give it a squeeze, and lower down. Good job. All right, let's go to the other side. So we have our left leg forward. Let's see. I think I'm going to I'm going to go to this side. So here we go again. Big inhale. Take your extension if you like. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward bend. Rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step your right leg back. Bend the left knee over the ankle. Find your low lunge. Separate your feet if you need to. Strong, stable legs. And then send your arms to the sky. Warrior one pose. Strong back leg. Bend your elbows, lift your sternum, take your Navasana arms. Bring them forward again, or your torso more towards neutral. And then This time, nestle the left elbow inside the right. Hands on shoulders or forearms crossed. You can take another little extension and then exhale, hinge forward, bow down, humble warrior with eagle arms. So it might just be a small hinge forward, or maybe you're going to go all the way down. Draw your left hip back. Maybe you can bring that shoulder to the inside of the knee. Strong back leg. And then rise back up. Straighten your front leg. Release your arms. Open up to the side. Warrior two posture. Bend the left knee. I just keep rotating my position so that I can see you and you can see me. Bend the knee. Arms active. Inhale. Exhale and sink. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale and sink. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale and sink. And then rise up. Get ready for triangle pose. Tuck the hip under. Reach forward. Lower left arm down. Right arm to sky. Keep your body on one plane and feel this, that your torso is turning to the side. Maybe you're looking up at your hand. Taking 1 more breath cycle here. And then the next exhale, bend your knee, de-rotate, hands frame your foot back into your low lunge. Ground your right hand down and send your left arm up to the sky. Take your twist. Good. 1 more breath here. Lower that hand down and then come down into your tabletop or your down dog. Preparing for that hip opener. So I'm going to send my leg back up to the sky. Lower that foot down. Get oriented in my position. Good. And then maybe lift that leg back up. Bend the knee, open the hip to the side. Find that hip rotation, your biggest range of motion, whatever that is. Come, bring that knee forward, up, back. Go in the other direction. Then maybe even hold that leg up and open. Extend your leg, lower the foot back down to your dog pose or your table. Come forward to your full plank or modified plank. Really feel that you're using your core muscles, your leg, your arms, your front and back body. And then however you get down, you know, maybe you're Ashtanga Namaskar, modified plank, maybe it's a full chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, back to down dog. Good, and settle here for 2 or 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Then step forward, 2 feet, so your left foot comes between your right foot and your hands. Bring your hands back to frame the left foot. Maybe the left hand goes onto a block. At whatever height, because we're doing a revolved triangle. Ground the back leg. Soften the front knee as needed. Lift your torso, get long, tone your belly. With your strong core, rotate to the left. Drawing the left hip back. Keep lengthening the torso. So the rotation comes from your belly, not your hip. 1 more breath. And lower that hand down. Get light on your arms. Roll up, round the spine. Roll up, roll up, roll up. Arms up to the sky. Back. Big arm circles wide to the side. Hands on your hips. Another extension here. Lifting your heart, lifting your gaze. And then come forward. Step the right foot forward. Pick up the left leg. Interlace your hands around the knee. Give it a squeeze. Okay, getting ready for our twist. Lower that foot down. Good. Pick up that leg again. Now with your left hand, guide that leg to the left. as your right hand comes onto the hip or extends to the right. And then come back to center, lower that foot down, just take a pause, bring it back up again. You can stay in that interlace or you can twist in the other direction. Right hand guides the knee to the right as left arm and gaze go to the left. And then come back to center, give it a squeeze, and lower down. Good job. Good job, everyone. Let's take a couple of clearing breaths. Big inhale, exhale it out with a sigh. And again, big inhale, and exhale it out with a sigh. And one more. Inhale, and this time slowly lower your arms, really slow, like super, super slow. It's all right. So let's do an Utkatasana, our awkward chair posture. Then we'll turn it into a balance and come down to seated. So with your feet about hips distance apart, you can just bend the knees, sweep your fingers down towards the earth, and then keep your lower body where it is. Lift your chest. You can keep your arms at shoulder height, or you can bring them up to the sky. And then sink a little farther back towards your hips. Make sure you can see your toes. And then let's take a twist. So let's bring our right hand to the outside of the left knee, left arm out at a 45-degree angle. Try not to let your legs go to the left. There's a tendency the whole body might want to get into it, but you want to find the rotation from the belly. Hips keep staying forward. Broad across your collarbones. Just go as comfortable as, as far to the left as feels comfortable for you. Come back to center into your Utkatasana, and then let's twist to the right. So same thing. I'm using my left hand and right knee as leverage. I'm maybe going a little deeper. I'm keeping my knees facing forward. I'm actually even, looking down and checking them out. Good. And then come back to center, back to our Utkatasana. And then straighten your legs, rise all the way up, arms by your sides. Okay. Now, we're going to turn this into a sort of a tiptoe squat. So this is a good exercise for our feet. I feel like we probably will do some feet work coming soon, because it's always a good thing. Our feet get, especially coming out of winter, they've been a little cooped up in shoes. So it's good that we have our practice where we're bare feet and get our feet, all the little muscles of our feet able to move, let them connect to the earth. So let's start to lift up onto the balls of the feet, lift the heels a little or a lot. You could send your arms up to the sky here. Sort of an extended mountain pose. Really reach, reach, reach. And then lower your heels, lower your arms. Okay. Now we'll do that again, but this time we're only going to bring our arms to shoulder height. So start to rise up, arms stay at shoulder height, turn your palms down. Now keep your heels lifted and bend your knees. Good, here we go. Now can you go even lower? And then can you go all the way down? Now, if this is too much for your knees, just come to seated right now, right? Just come to seated. Those who you're able to, you can bring your arms down onto the earth. Your heels are lifted. You're sort of in a tiptoe squat. Maybe your heels come together, knees go out. Those who might be inclined and you know what it is, you could take your crow right now if you wanted. There's a couple minutes. Yep, you could try your crow by grounding your hands into the earth, kind of lifting the hips so that the knees come to the outside of the elbows, and then just maybe practice lifting one leg or the other. Take a couple of breaths. And then slowly lower your feet back down. Let's lower our knees, and we're gonna all come to seated. Woo, good job. Good job. Okay, so we'll take a little bit of a Navasana posture. So you can modify it by just lifting, keeping the toes down and lifting the heels. Find a comfortable sit bone point, lift your heart, hold on to your hamstrings. You can stay here, even extending the arms, that might be enough. Or you can lift one or both legs, holding the hamstrings or releasing. Take a couple of breaths here. Keep lifting your heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, and just sink into the posture. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Lower your legs. You can give yourself a little seated child's pose squeeze. We'll do that 2 more times and maybe add a twist. All right, so when you're ready, hold to the hamstrings, lift the heels, maybe lift one or both legs. You can even do this modified by having one leg lifted and the other one down, and then slowly, with control, switch halfway. All right, so see where you are, and then maybe twist to the right and hold. Keep lifting your heart. And then come back to center. Twist over to the left. Keep lifting your heart. Come back to center. Lower your feet. Lower your knees. Take a little bit of a forward fold bound angle. So we're letting our knees splay open. And breathe here. Nice. And then come back up. Let's close our knees. And let's take a figure 4 today. If you want to do our Kapotasana, the full pigeon, you can always do pigeon. But I think this is nice and safe on people's knees. Pigeon sometimes hurts people's knees because the weight of gravity, the weight is pushing down on the knees. So we'll start with our right side, okay? Externally rotated, so if you're going into the full pigeon. But what I always like to suggest with figure 4 is, if you're not sure where you are, you can always build it from sort of the ground up by just a slight external rotation by crossing the right ankle over the left. You could bring it up even above the knee. If you want to do it seated, I love it from a seated position. It's nice. You can cross your right ankle over the knee, dorsiflex your foot so that you're here in this seated position. And depending on the range of motion in your hip, you can bring that left heel closer towards your body and breathe. Right? You could even sit upright and hold on to the left leg. So see what feels comfortable for you. I want to make sure that this rotation happens in just my hip. So I'm actually going to hold on to my right foot and bring my right hand onto my right thigh. And lift my heart and breathe. Take a few breath cycles here. And now let's all transition. Let's see if you can even keep your shape and come onto the earth. So I'm going to try to keep my shape, go onto my back, and then bring that left leg in. So now I've taken that figure 4 and now I'm on my back. And then keep the shape if you can. Bring your arms out like a T, and then see if you can roll your legs over to the left, and then bring them back up. And then roll your legs or your hips over to the left and bring it back up. Now this next time, and you might want to block for this, maybe you're going to roll your legs over to the left and bring your right foot onto the earth or a block so that knee is up to the sky. Your left leg is still bent, so you're still in your figure 4 shape with the twist. And you can look over your right arm and settle in here. If this is too much of a twist, you could always, release that right leg and just have your 2 legs stacked. It might feel just intense at first, but once you get accustomed to it, it's really nice. It cultivates a nice lengthening on the right side body. Take one more breath. And then derotate your gaze. Bring your legs back to center. Bring your right leg onto the earth. So now you're in constructive rest. Okay. So we do have another side. Now, if the figure 4 on your back felt the most beneficial for you, or you know that you've had recent injury or tightness on that left side, then maybe you're going to stay here. But if you'd like to start seated like we did and just repeat the whole thing, we'll roll to the left side, rise up, bend our knees, so we're in our constructive rest, or our seated child's pose rather, and bring your left ankle over the right knee. Actually, starting low if you needed to. If you needed to find out where you are, say you don't know, you've had an injury. Yeah, so there you go. And then dorsiflex your foot, externally rotate that hip, and find your hand position. Maybe it's, they're on the earth to support you. Maybe you're holding on to that front leg. Maybe you're holding on to the bent leg. And breathe here. Take another breath or two. And then if you like, you can bring this whole setup onto your back. So keep that shape with the body. Now maybe trying the figure 4 on your back. Then if you want to turn this into a twist, we can maintain that shape, maybe get a block handy to the outside of the right side of your mat, arms out like a T, and then roll over to the right and come back to center, and then over to the right, back to center. And this next time we'll hold. So roll all the way over, maybe the foot's on the earth or a block, knee to sky, getting a nice stretch on the left side. And then maybe look over your left shoulder. Take another breath or two. Then bring your gaze back to center, your legs back to center. Uncross your legs. Bring your knees in toward your chest and give them a squeeze. Head to knees like a supine child's pose. And then lower your torso back down and let's take a happy baby. So it may be that your knees just come apart like a Supta Baddha Konasana and you hold on to your shins or your ankles. Maybe you're able to lift your feet up towards the sky and clasp the pinky toe sides of your feet. Use your arm strength to pull the legs down wherever your clasp is, doesn't matter. And maybe feel a nice lengthening of your spine, a flattening of the curves of the spine. So draw the tailbone down, press the low back down, maybe press the back of your neck down. You can even rock side to side and massage the back body. You can bring that movement to stillness and let the curves, the natural curves of your spine resume. Take a big inhale and exhale. One more breath, inhale and exhale. And then slowly, one at a time, release your legs onto the earth. Draw your legs apart, let your feet drop out to the sides. Maybe you can even press each half your pelvis to the ground so you feel fully supported through the root, the core of your body. And draw your shoulder blades together as you extend your arms in a low V and spin your palms up to the sky. Take a big inhale here and exhale it out with a sigh. Maybe take a yawn. Pop your ears, wiggle your jaw, release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. You can rock your head side to side. Just take a big inhale and relieve any tension, any existing tension in the body. Inhale again, and on an exhale, just surrender and let go of any holding. Take one more big inhale and exhale it out and let any control of your breath go so that we can rest here for these next few moments as we integrate our practice, restore our vital energy, and absorb the shanti, the peace of yoga. There's magic in the unknown. Sometimes we're out of ideas. We think and think, but nothing comes. We don't know what's next. It feels like we're at a dead end, but we're not. That void, that dreaded blank spot is really a glorious, magical place. Sometimes we have to run out of ideas before we can open up to any new ones. The reason we can't see any farther is because our ideas are limited by the past, by past experiences, by what life has been like before. Our future doesn't have to be limited by our past. Life knows that. Now we can learn it too. We're not at a dead end. We've reached a new beginning. Now is a time of magic. Let the universe take your hand and show you things you have never seen before. Now at last, you're open and vulnerable enough to begin. Celebrate the magic.
the mystery of the unknown. Celebrate the miracles that will certainly come. So allow your breath to deepen. Gently rock your head from side to side. Bring movement to fingers and toes. Take a big inhale and exhale and release. Maybe take a big stretch or give your legs a squeeze. And then when you're ready, you can roll over to one side and use the bottom elbow and top arm to sit up, coming up to a comfortable seat. And let's draw our hands to prayer, bowing our head to our hands in gratitude. And then we'll seal our practice by joining our voices in one Om. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste.